So here's some of the best iPhone accessories that you've probably never heard of. I don't want to waste any time, let's just get right into it. So first, there's lots of cases out there, but I bet you've never really seen anything like this. This is from a company called Miao, and they're known for making very high-end keyboards, some of the highest price out there. One of their flagship keyboards costs $700, and it's actually always out of stock. But thankfully, this case is $34.99 as of the time of this recording, and just look at this thing. It is incredibly beautiful. I love the way it looks. It looks like it's made out of metal, but it's made out of a polycarbonate, and it's sprayed at the end to make it look like metal. So it keeps it light while having a nice metal look to it. And it even supports MagSafe at the back, so your MagSafe accessories will still work with it. I absolutely love this case. I am a bit concerned about how much protection this actually provides because there's a lot of exposed foam throughout the entire design of it. That's kind of the point. But if you want your iPhone to stand out, because at least here in the United States, this is the most popular phone out there, and iPhone hasn't really changed their design in ages. So if you want to stand out with a case, I 100% recommend this. So this wasn't sent to me. I bought this with my own money, but I actually really do like this case. Okay, so moving on. Next, I'm going to start off with some regular household accessories, and things are going to start getting crazy and crazier as I go. So next is a wallet. There's so many different wallets out there. Apple makes one. There's like a whole bunch of cheap ones on Amazon, and I've tried all of them. And this is the only one I keep on coming back to for a few reasons. It's a nice slim design. So it opens and closes based off of this magnet. And you pop it up, and then you have access to 3 to 4 cards. I think 3 is the sweet spot, 4 gets a little bit packed in there. There's 2 things that makes this the best out of all of them. And I've tried a few of them, Apple's official one and a few cheap ones from Amazon. Not only does it have a built-in hinge, which ends up making your iPhone act as a kickstand. So since this is your wallet, you always have a kickstand with you. And you could orient it both portrait and in landscape mode. Perfect for watching YouTube or going to TikTok, etc. But here's the best thing. This actually looks relatively new. But I bought this since the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and this has been my main wallet ever since then. The build quality of this is incredible. This has lasted me the entire time. It barely shows any sign of wear, and this is a fairly expensive wallet, but you buy this once and you'll be able to keep it for years, maybe even a decade. So I've been really happy with this wallet case made by Peak Design. And if you're not familiar with Peak Design, if you're a photographer or videographer, you definitely know who they are, but they're very well loved by the photography and videography community. So 100% recommend this. So here's where the accessories start to get a little bit outlandish. Let's talk storage. Storage on iPhone is incredibly expensive. Once you go from 256 all the way up to 1 terabyte, you're almost spending double the amount. So this is something awesome that was sent to me by Zike. And what this is just a storage solution. So the way it works is it attaches by MagSafe, and you just plug in the other end, and it's hooked in a way to make it a little bit more seamless when plugging it into your iPhone. You just click it in, and then you get access to storage now. This one has 256 gigabytes of storage. It goes all the way up to 1 terabyte, depending on which one you get. It shows the amount of watts that's being used by my iPhone right now. It looks like it's only 1 watt, and it also has the temperature. Really cool stuff. But here's the most interesting part of it though. So storage is a big issue on iPhone, and especially when it comes to recording video, etc., especially if you start doing ProRes RAW. So this is my 512 gigabyte iPhone, which was incredibly expensive. And as of right now, I only have 5 minutes left of recording time, which is incredibly frustrating. I'm constantly having to go in and press this free resources button. So all I do is just plug this in. And what I like is that the magnet keeps it attached to the phone here, so it's not like dangling around as much. So look at that. My max time went up to 36 minutes. And the cool thing about this is this cable is removable, and it's essentially just a USB Type-C. So you can save files or save videos here and then plug this directly into your laptop, and you're able to transfer. And yes, the speeds are capable enough to support Apple ProRes RAW. in log format. You don't have to deal with wires or waiting forever for AirDrop to load. And the thing is, like, I don't think you don't need to be a video maker to really appreciate something like this. Just having extra storage on your phone, or every once in a while, if you're on an event or if your kids have a recital or a soccer game, etc., and you just want to capture a long video and not have to depend on your storage, this is perfect for you. And on top of that, you just take this out, plug this into your laptop, and you're able to transfer the file. So really cool device. And next, this has been one of my favorite devices ever since the company sent this to me, maybe about 2 years ago, and I never did a review of it. I'm really sorry, Viture, but thank you so much for sending this out to me. These are essentially XR glasses, not to be confused with something like the Apple Vision Pro, where that's an entire spatial computer or etc. This doesn't have any batteries in it, and it doesn't have a computer in it. All of the power comes from your phone, so you just plug it in to your phone using USB-C, and the iPhone 15 Pro and up supports DisplayPort. So not only is this powering the glasses with this USB Type-C cable, but it's also providing video. So the best way to think about this is it's essentially a monitor in glasses form. And the cool thing about it, you don't have to set up anything. iPhone is already configured for it. So the moment you plug this in, I'm seeing my iPhone being blasted right in front of my face right now. It's a very difficult product to showcase because you can't see what I'm seeing. But just imagine that I'm seeing a display in front of me, similar to the Apple Vision Pro, but all of the processing power is happening here on my iPhone. So you can just start a YouTube video, turn it sideways, and I'm seeing this video in what's essentially about a 32-inch display if I was looking at arm's length. But the more further back I move, the screen obviously stays the same size. So when I'm sitting back in my living room, this ends up kind of looking like a 55-inch TV. What's officially supported here is Apple TV. Apple TV officially supports external displays, so I can just show anything that I want. As you can see, it's not showing content here, but it is showing on the glasses itself, and it's taking up the entire full screen of it. So from here I have access to my controls, etc. This does have built-in speakers. They sound okay. I think you're better off using something like AirPods, and especially for watching movies, you're gonna want to turn on spatial audio on your AirPods. Really, really cool. I find myself using this a lot, especially when I'm traveling, or sometimes if I don't feel like fiddling with my TV. And for gaming too, this is where this thing really comes alive. So in terms of resolution, it's 1080p per eye, so it ends up kind of looking like QHD, at least to my eyes. From what I'm able to see, this looks equivalent to maybe like a 32-inch QHD panel. It doesn't look as good as 4K, but it doesn't look as bad as 1080p, so it's like a nice in-between. It's more than good enough for all content consumption. I love it for gaming. Only issue is though it's only 60 Hz. And this is using micro LED technology, which has always been the next step in display technology after OLED. So you're getting the Inky Blast, the infinite contrast ratio, and this gets up to 1100 nits. Not in like a 1 or 2% area. The entire screen can get bright, much brighter than this iPhone, much brighter than just about every TV out there. If you're using these smart glasses, you may have noticed that you have to plug it into a USB Type-C cable, and when you do that, you're not able to charge your phone anymore. So that's when this comes in. This is the UGREEN Nexode 100-watt charger. UGREEN was a previous sponsor of mine. They're not sponsoring this video anymore. Since part of the sponsor program meant that I got to keep this, I use this every single day. I keep this by my nightstand. So regular charger, nothing crazy here, and this has a built-in power supply, no external power brick. And the reason why I say that is this has a 100-watt power adapter in here. If you just plug in using either one of these USB Type-C ports, you can fully power a MacBook Pro, even the new M4 Pro or Pro Maxes that come out later on, and this is an incredibly small package. Cool. Probably not the biggest thing, but this also supports MagSafe. So what this charger ends up doing is when you're using the MagSafe charger, you're getting 15 watts. Then it reduces the USB Type-C charging to 65 watts, which is still able to fully charge a MacBook Pro. And what I really like about this is it has a built-in hinge. So you can position it in whatever angle is comfortable for you. If you're using nightstand mode or using it to watch TV or TikTok, etc. Really like it. But if you need charging on the go, This is a gigantic charger from a company called Aohi. You might have seen this in several of my videos. I use these yellow cables all the time. Aohi's been sending me all their cable and I've just been featuring it on the channel. Never really did a video on it. I'll have links down below. It'll give you a bit of a discount. This is not an affiliate program for at least for these cables, if that matters to you or not. But this is a 40,000 milliamp battery. This can fully charge a MacBook 14, or in this case, this Omen 14, which I did test out. I went from 0 to 50% in 30 minutes, and I got to 80% charge before this battery died. You can charge your iPhone or any phone probably like 10 times. Really cool stuff, and it supports 140 watt fast charge too. Lots of chargers out there, but this one has a really cool design, and the unboxing experience was really awesome. Aohi makes some really high quality stuff. They charge a lot for this stuff, but it is very high quality. I use it every day, and it's been standing the test of time. Okay, so next I want to talk about very unusual, and it's definitely not for everyone, but I think if you give this a chance, this could potentially change your life. Apple, a while ago, introduced lossless audio, and there isn't really anything out there that could really play it like that Apple makes. No Bluetooth headphone supports it. Apple only allows AAC, which doesn't support the full bandwidth of lossless audio. And in case you haven't heard of lossless audio, it is significantly better sounding than typical audio that you'll get out of Spotify, Apple Music, without enabling these settings, etc. So you go to your iPhone settings, look for music, and then look for audio quality, and then go to audio quality, and then make sure that lossless audio is enabled. And what this does is unlocks a listening experience that I bet most people have not ever heard before. Once you have good equipment though, so that's where this comes in. This is the Fulla E. This is by a company called Schiit, and it is pronounced shit. I didn't curse, that's just the name of the company, and this is called their Fulla. So you can kind of get where they're going with this. Clever people. They make DAC and amps. DACs is just short for digital to audio converter, and amp is what you think. It makes things louder. The way this works, I know you got to deal with wires, but that's the only way to really get it to work. So you just plug this in using the same USB cable that comes with your phone. It's the bandwidth of USB 2.0 is more than good enough. You plug it in. This has two USB Type-C ports, one additional for power to get extra power, which I do recommend. But if you don't, then you can just plug it into the right USB Type-C. And what that does, and you'll see it pop up right here on the iPhone, it's indicating that it's now connected to this device. So once you do this, there's two options. At the back of the Fulla E, if you plug in speakers here, so like I have the Sonos Era 300s, and these speakers are good enough to resolve the details of high-res audio. So that's another thing too. You need good audio equipment to be able to discern the difference. But here's been my favorite way to do it. These are the Hifiman HE560 V4. These usually cost $900, but during Black Friday, at least on Hifiman's website, they're on sale for only $169. Nice. This is the best value in audio I've ever heard. So once you just have this combination with these headphones, I promise you have never heard music like this before. These are gigantic drivers, and these are planar magnetic drivers. If you've never heard of this type of driver, it's a different way of producing sound than typically what you would get from like a dynamic driver, which is the speakers you're used to seeing. But typically, planar magnetics are a lot better. And because this is also a DAC and amp, it has enough power to drive this once you just keep it all the way up. Now, there is a better version of the Fulla. It's the Gunner, which I really want to check out at some point. But especially if you're using these headphones, I would recommend using the other USB Type-C. This one only supports power. It'll just help drive this headphone better. But I promise, if you're into audio in any way, once you hear this, it'll change your life. Every other headphone will just start to sound terrible to you, especially once you're using Apple lossless. So since I work from home and then sometimes I would take calls, I ended up getting the mod mic. This was sent to me by the company at Lion. So all this is just a regular headphone cable, and there's this little magnet here that comes with the mod mic. You just attach it here, and this just becomes a headset. And the reason why I'm recommending this DAC amp combo, not only is it fairly affordable, but it also has a microphone out. And the microphone quality from this combination sounds really good too. Enough if I was to make YouTube videos, I feel like this would be good enough. So I know the problem is here, there's cables, it's messy, it's a lot to deal with, but unfortunately, there's no other way to hear audio quality this good. I saved this one for last because I know this one's not for everyone, but I promise, I've heard details in songs that I have not ever heard before. Everything sounds so crystal clear. I've heard some songs that I grew up with, and it sounded like the first time I ever listened to it. It brought back a lot of memories. And there's some people, when they've listened to audiophile headphones for the first time, they've been known to tear up and get emotional because it brings back old memories. Very unusual recommendation, but this entire set here costs $350, which is way less than the AirPods Max, and this blows the AirPods Max out of the water. This is not ideal for anything else other than sitting at your desk, but you don't need a laptop or a special software, etc. The iPhone just does it once you have the good hardware. And I promise, guys, once you listen to music like this and even movies, you're going to hear details that you've never heard before. So bit of a weird list of stuff. That was kind of the point of this. I didn't want to make like another regular iPhone accessory video that you've seen a billion times. Very unusual video for me to make. I don't know how this one will do. If you do like it, just interact with the channel somehow down below to let YouTube know that you like this kind of stuff. Other than that, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye.